Welcome to Reread. I'm going to go over 4 Star Wars missions books. Aha, today. But these are written by Ryder Wenham. This is the first, I believe, of Random Houses or Scholastics. Mail in, you signed up and they'd send you every month a new book with a new adventure. This is back in 97. I had no idea about this until the prequels came out that they were doing this. And I had to buy all these in one lot on eBay for very cheap. I think it got them for like 20 bucks. And no one cared back then. But the first one is called Assault on Yavin. Basically, Captain Skeezer, the old geezer, no, they don't call him that, but they should have, is sent to check on the whereabouts of the Death Star because Admiral Turmo is supposed to wait and hear directions from Moff Tarkin. He hasn't, and it's been a day, so where's the instructions? So he doesn't know what's going on. Maybe rebels have intercepted, they're intercepting the messages in between. And so he goes, okay, Skeezer, go down there, see what's going on, and then report back. Don't send any messages. You may tip the rebels off if they have a ship in between us and the Death Star. And that's what he's thinking, because no way someone could take out the Death Star, right? So Skeezer gets there. The rebels see him. It's just a small Carrack cruiser with 3 TIE fighters attached to it. And they're like, uh-oh. They know what this is, an Imperial scout ship trying to figure out what happened. Where's the Death Star? And so they said, well, look, we'll just remain low. Since the Death Star is blown to bits, they probably won't put 2 and 2 together. So let's just lay low, and hopefully they'll just pass us by and report nothing. Well, as they're doing that, Han has already left, and he goes out in the Millennium Falcon. He just shoots that cruiser down and takes out the TIEs. And they're like, you idiot. Now when they don't report back, more people are going to come. He's like, oh. He said, and they could be sending a signal, they could be sending a message right now. So now it's up to you. Yes, you, the reader. You're one of the rebels that Dodonna tasked to go on a mission to take up all, brave all the dangers in the forest, which is where you have to roll your die, and stormtroopers as well, to take out the satellite dish and capture Skeezer. And you do that by the end of this. You also come across an Old Republic droid guarding one of the temples. I was like, this is interesting. The Old Republic never mentioned him, and I kind of wish, someone would have. I think that would have been a great connection, but he says the droid is Q7N, and he says he was left there by pirates. So I guess there's some gold in one of the temples, and they left him to guard it, but it's been 1,000 years now, and he just wants out, which is kind of funny. He's only in this 4-book series here, this story arc here, but it is kind of funny. At the end, they find out that the Death Star was, or at the beginning maybe, I can't remember when this was, R2-D2 was running through the schismatics of the Death Star again and realized they were carrying tons of Bacta. But why? Why were they carrying so much Bacta? So then they decide at the very end of this to go to Thyferra, which is where the Bacta is produced, to go investigate and try to figure out what the Death Star was doing with so much, Bacta. In fact, when Skeezer wakes up after he gets captured in a cell, Dr. Han Solo and Dr. Chewbacca come to visit him. And they said, don't worry, we'll have you all fixed up. We got some Bacta fresh from we recovered it from the Death Star. He went, wait, Death Star Bacta? No, it's contaminated. Don't let me have it. And they go, so they find out it's contaminated. What were they doing with contaminated Bacta? And that's where the story sets up for book number 2. Mission 2 is called Escape from Thyferra. At this point, Admiral Turmo finds out that the Death Star has been destroyed by the Emperor, who thinks it's funny. It's really weird. He goes, oh, Emperor. He goes, you haven't heard? He said, well, we're waiting for Moff Tarkin from the Death Star. He went, you won't. He said, why is that? Because it's been destroyed. I don't know why he's laughing about that. In fact, the Emperor's probably pissed. It took so long to make the first one. Okay, so I don't like the laughing Emperor like I don't like laughing Vader. The Emperor laughs, but he laughs when something is cruel and people are in pain, or anguish. But why would he laugh at that? I don't know. Maybe there's a reason out there. Maybe you'll let me know in the comments. But either way, I thought that was a little weird that he was laughing. So the rebels go to Thyferra to find out what was up with the contaminated Bacta. They are captured by the Imperials that are there. And you, one of the rebels that were captured and part of the party, now it's time for your adventure. You break out. You take on Imperials. You try to investigate the planet, go into local cantinas. I guess you don't care about Han, Luke, and Leia who are still trapped in there. But don't worry, because once you gather some information, then you remember you have to save everyone. So you go in and save everyone, and then the adventure comes back to where they learn that the Empire was planning on growing their own Bacta on a planet called Delrakkin. And so that's where they have to go next to kind of put the pieces to this puzzle together. So mission number 3 is called Attack on Delrakkin, where basically you are the engines get burned out or shot at. I can't remember. He doesn't crash land. He lands the Falcon, but he has to make repairs. And they want to go and investigate, what's going on with the Empire here on Delrakkin. But how can we do that without ships? Well, there's an A-wing, a B-wing, and a Y-wing, I think it says, or 3 types of ships out there. And so I guess you take the Y-wing, or there's a Y-wing available, I guess. And you go out there, and of course you're shooting down TIE fighters, you're investigating on the planet, taking out stormtroopers. Of course, there's an adventure part to this. And you realize that you're taking out X-wings too, I think, here too. But no, that's in the next one. But you're finding out that there's some type of a secret weapon that it is so weird. They wanted the contaminated Bacta to eliminate the residents of the planet and keep the planet because they were working on a project that could stop, or control hyperspace. Only their, ships can go to hyperspace or whatnot. So now basically the mystery is unfolding before us for the 4th and final act, which is missions for Destroy the Liquidator. Termo is on the Liquidator. Now Termo is going to the moons of Yavin, and he wants to find out, he wants to find out what happened. He realizes the rebel base is somewhere on here. He doesn't know what moon. And there are several moons of Yavin. So he's going through them one at a time and sending out probes for the rest of them. When Han, Leia, and Luke disable one of the probes, they still need to, buy time to hide from him until... See, they're running out of pilots, which I never thought about this. But after the Death Star, they only have Wedge and Luke. They mention that too. We're short on pilots. We need to get some more pilots. Oddly enough, by chance, this will later on make sense in the EU and some other like children's novels. If you could easily connect the dots here. But anyway, they're short on pilots, so they got to be careful. Well, eventually, don't worry, you're going on a mission where you infiltrate the Star Destroyer, the Liquidator. You set up a thermal detonator at the right spot on the Star Destroyer that blows it all up. You also recaptured and escaped Skeezer, and he dies at the end of this. Termo makes it out alive, and he vows vengeance on you one day. And so basically you save, Yavin Four, the Republic based on Yavin Four, or Rebellion, once again. So hurrah for you. These are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I know in between it gives you a choice and it tells you what you need to roll and what you need to do and what could basically happen. So there's a big middle chapter, I think it's chapter 4, but it goes really quick because there's a bunch of dice rolling and basically here's what could happen. Here's the resolutions you could choose. And it always says, do you take out one at a time or all at once? You decide. That's most of the choices there. Sometimes you have to do an agility roll or to dodge this, to go in here. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Story-wise, Ryder Wenham always comes through. Solid hit. I enjoyed these. These are, I can't imagine how hard these are to find now. But they don't, this 4-part series at least doesn't connect to anything in the EU. I can't promise the next 4 won't though. All right, see you then.